Hey gang, how we doing? Songwriting time again here at the old corral, CreatiVets Corral. Glad to have you aboard. I'll give people a chance to get up and running here. All right, and today we're going to talk about again. We're gonna deconstruct hit songs to see what it is. What's the magic formula that makes them work? And so we'll just see who comes on board, what's happening. We'll just keep that going here. Slide that in. See, I can slide this one in a little bit. And then do that. And then if I do that, okay, and I can go back and forth. No, that won't work. Okay. Let me move it back there, right there. Let me post first. Like before, and this will be called CreatiVet. Let's see, I actually have it here, so I can tell you what it's called. CreatiVets Hits Deconstructed. CreatiVets HID Hits Deconstructed. That's what we're going to look for, and here is the link. All right, and so all you have to do is go to that link, click on that link, and then you'll see some songs, some different songs, some different lists. And what you want to do is just grab the list that says CreatiVets Hits Deconstructed, and you'll find all the lyrics that we're going to talk about today. All right. Just waiting for a few people to get on board here. We're going to open with the song Desperado. That was a request last week, and so I've got, as you can see, I've got a big list here. But if there's a song that you want to be analyzed and deconstructed, make a suggestion, and we'll try to do it. We'll see what we can do. All right. Until then, until I see somebody's online and somebody's there, you want to make sure that somebody's there before we start blabbing our heads off. I will be drinking this delicious coffee. Yeah, we have Desperado we're going to talk about. Then we have Break My Heart, which is the Dua Lipa. Actually, we already talked about that one. And we're going to talk about, we're going to do an Ed Sheeran song. And then Be a Light, which is a Thomas Rhett song, and One Step Up, One Step Back, which is a Bruce Springsteen tune, and then 6 Feet Apart, Luke Combs, and you all can request any one of these songs on the list. The Road Goes On Forever, which is a wonderful song by, I wanted to pick all different styles of songs, pop songs, country songs, and, folk, indie songs. Anything She Says, Luke Combs, and She's My Kind of Rain, which is a real interesting song. And the song Because by the Beatles. And let's see, yeah. We talk about Every Breath You Take. That was such a brilliant song. Just waiting for people to get on. Still waiting. If you're watching, would you just send me a little text on the chat, and that way I'll know that I've got some audience, I've got some listeners, and if you want the lyrics to today's lecture, just go to that link that's up there in the chat, hit on that link, and then get the songs. There's a bunch of songs in that, there's a list of things in that file, in that folder. You're completely welcome to download that and print it if you want, or you can just open it from the list. All right. Just waiting to have. If you're watching me now, just send me a little a text in the chat. Send me a little chat to let me know, that you're there, and then we'll get started as soon as I know that there's somebody tuning in. All right. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. Waiting. So if you're if you're watching right now, just click on the just write in the chat, just say, hey, I'm here, because there's no way for me to know if anybody's watching until I see somebody. Just if just one person says hello, then I'll get started. And if nothing happens in the next 5 minutes, I'll just go ahead and get started anyway. But I'm giving people a chance to get on board. Today is Tuesday. Just want to make sure I had the right day. It seems to be the right day. Let's see. Talk to you, you're the only friend I have. anybody there? Just waiting for people to come on board. Send me a little message saying hello. In the stream, there's a chat that comes along with this, and just waiting for somebody to come in and say hi. Oh, there we go. There's Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Thanks for coming on board. So today we're going to talk about, we're just going to deconstruct some songs, and if you have a suggestion, a song that you'd like to have deconstructed, send it to me. Send me the song idea, and we might not get to it today, but we can do it on the next session. But we might get it to today as well. We just don't ever know. All right. All right. So let's get started. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about, first we're going to go to Desperado, which is one of the greatest songs ever written. And we're going to listen to this song first, and then we're going to talk about it. All right? Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Kyle. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Tell me that you can hear this if it's loud enough.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one, but I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get. Desperado, oh, you ain't getting no younger. Your pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. And freedom, oh, freedom, well, that's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. Losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences. Open the gate. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you.
All right. What a great song that is. So let's talk about what's making this song such a great song. There's so many things involved in this tune. It's just unbelievable. First of all, let's talk about the basic form. The basic form of this song, it's not a chorus song. It's a non-chorus song. But it sounds like a chorus because they explode. The pitch goes up quite a bit. So desperado, da 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 da. So don't your feet go. So it jumps way up, very high. So that is something that typically a power chorus would do. When you like when your range of notes is da 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 da. And then it goes way up there. That's so pretty. So they save that note to the next section. So it's a non-chorus. It's a bridge that sings like a chorus. You'll notice that the bridge, the second bridge, is completely different. That's why it seems more like a bridge than a chorus. Although there are choruses that are completely different, except they always have the title in them, right? And you'll notice that the title is not in either one of these B sections, bridge sections, right? But nonetheless, it's singing. It's a power bridge. Let's call it a power bridge, right? So the listener gets the same effect as if it were a chorus. So it just sucks you in. That music just grabs you. Let's just start from the beginning of the song and see what's going on here. Let's start it from the beginning, and we'll start and stop as we go. Okay, right off the bat, that setup is incredible. It goes da 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 da, and then it goes down to the 5. So it's in the key of G, and it ends, the intro ends with a slow fade on the 5, which is a perfect setup. The 5 really wants to go to the 1. And then we got Desperado. So we have an opening that is 3 Desperado. It's 4 syllables. The stress is on the big stress is on the ado, desperado, and then a big space. Now that space gets your attention right away. What we're looking for in hit songs is, what is the magic that keeps everybody glued to this song? And the magic happens in 4 different ways. The first way is just flat out magic. Just something magical about it that no one can explain. But the other 3 are, and you've heard this before, These are the three basic tools, which makes, looking at songs so much easier if you know there's only three things you're watching for. That is original detail sprinkled in amongst the generic detail. Everything doesn't have to be original, just some of it original. So we have original detail, we have contrast, and we have repetition. Those three things. And we look at those three things in the light of setting up expectations and either delivering what they expect or giving them something different, which is a little surprise. And the something different, the little surprise, is I like to call them happy surprises, because every time you hear them, you go, oh, wow, I just love that. So don't be thrown off. It can be a sad song, but when you hear that surprise in your ears, you go, oh, wow, I love that. So that's a happy surprise. So Desperado, when that song opens with that slow pacing, it finally gets to and then it lags. I mean, you talk about a setup. And then, much to the listener's surprise, they start right off the bat with a surprise. Just 4 syllables. Desperado. So, and then a long pause. So right away, you have got the listener's attention like crazy. And then the next one is, Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come to your senses. You've been out riding fences, yeah, for so long, so long now. Now, so after this pause, we have, why don't you come to your senses? What an interesting chord. And not only the chord is interesting, come to your senses. That would be a predictable, right? If we went, Desperados, why don't you come to the 4 to your senses? You would expect, a standard chord, but instead they hit this a diminished chord, and it's like, let me check that and make sure that's what it is. But it is. So I love this long pause. Then we have what we call a feminine ending on the second line. Senses, fences. Now those feminine endings, meaning that the stress is on the second to the last syllable. Now that second to the last syllable stress, what happens there is tension. So you've already got this slow, what I would call almost a dirge of a song, and then we have the feminine ending on the second line, so we've got desperado, feminine, ado. So we have the second to the last syllable is stressed, leaving that last syllable unstressed, just dangling out there, wanting to be resolved. You should know this. Feminine endings always want to resolve to masculine endings. So if I said, Desperado, why don't you come to your sense? See how that feels like, oh, that was resolved, that was nice. But no, he keeps it going. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences. Again, another feminine. For so long now. Now, for so long you've thought, oh, we're going to resolve it. For so long, there's the stresses on long. For so long now, kept that feminine thing going. You're a hard one. again, that pause with like desperado. You're a hard one. Da da da. That's nice. Da 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 da. I know that you've got your reasons. Let's see what he's playing. He might be playing the 2.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been
Come to your senses. Come to your senses. Oh, he might be playing the minor 2. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out right. And it's maybe like a real funny chord. Come to your senses. No, it's not that yet, right? Senses. Senses. You've been out riding fences, yeah. See,
out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one, but I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow.
oh,
These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow.
okay, there's a split there. Goes to the 5. Hurt you somehow. Yeah. So, 7. Come to your senses. Been out riding fences. To the minor 6. For so long now. That's nice. So it stays on the minor. For so long now. So you get a bunch of minor chords in there, which keeps the tension going again. Really nice, really, really nice. And all these feminine endings. And let's just talk about what they're saying here. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? So he's asking this wonderful question here. You've been out riding fences for so long now. So right away, we know that desperado is now a metaphor. It's not a real desperado because they've been out riding fences. Desperados wouldn't be riding fences, right? That's just a regular cowboy. So what we have here is, right away we know desperado must signify something. It must stand for something. So so why don't you come to your sense? You've been out riding fences for so long now. You're a hard one. I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. So now we realize, wow, this is very symbolic song here. So it has nothing to do with outlaws. This is probably some contemporary person, who's can't settle down, can't figure out who he is, and he's a little aloof and distant from people, and this coolness, you're desperado, so you're a bandit, you're a tough guy, you're cool, right? Cool and tough, and he says, why don't you come, come to your senses. You've been out riding fences, which means you've been keeping, you've been keeping your distance for so long. You're a hard one, which is the desperado thing. I know that you've got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you. Oh, let's talk about that rhyme. That's so sweet. I've noticed that the Eagles and Don Henley especially loves to do what we call a rhyme tag. So we got reasons, again, you're a hard one, again, feminine ending, hard one, the accent on the hard, and then one, and then reasons, again, feminine ending, and then things that are pleasing you. Now, beginning writers are going to think, I don't want to tag anything on the end, but guess what? You can. And Don Henley proves this all the time. You can just stick that "you" right on there. So when you're writing and you're coming to the end and you find a nice rhyme word for your line, but you have to have another syllable on the back end of it, go ahead, try it out. Try it out. He did. What's pleasing you can hurt you somehow. All right. So this wonderful rhyme scheme. We got senses, fences, now, hard one, reasons, pleasing you. There's that tag. Can hurt you somehow. So somehow rhymes with now, right? I mean that structure is just gorgeous. So we have desperado, which doesn't have a rhyme. See, oh, ow. No, it doesn't. It just it's the opening phrase has no rhyme, but then everything else is going to rhyme. So we have why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences. Why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences. Come to your senses. Out riding fences. And then notice, for so long, they cut that line short. When you cut a line short like that, it's like, whoa, there's that contrast, that surprise that we talked about. So we have repetition, desperado, a long space, which gets your attention, a lot of tension because there's no singing there. Then why don't you, notice all that pickup line, why don't you, we have three stresses, not stresses, excuse me, we have three syllables before the downbeat. Why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences. Da 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 da. You're expecting it to be the same length as those other two, but for so long now. Sweet, sweet. You're a hard one. Another short line. You know your reasons, the things that are pleasing you. Extra little note syllable there. Again, gets your attention, and it creates even more tension because of that extra word on the end. People don't think of it, but subconsciously they're going, "Whoa, this is really kind of off balance." I got the rhyme, but it's off balance. Will hurt you somehow for so long now. Hurt you somehow. It's got four stresses, four syllables, whereas the first one for so long now will hurt you somehow. So you have the sense that last line is a little bit longer. So the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of mixing up here. It's not as predictable as people might think it is. So it's got a great symbolic reasoning and symbolic storyline, and because it's a desperado right away has some sort of magical quality to it, doesn't it? It's like, oh yeah, desperado. That's an intense person, right? So right away, I want to know about this desperado. So the whole idea of Henley and Glenn, they thought, these people, let's write a song about a guy that's having trouble. He thinks he's cool. He's kind of aloof. He thinks he's kind of like he's edgy. But he really, this kind of behavior is just not, it's not going to last for long, right? So there's just so much magic in this, even in the first verse. It just sets the scene for this wonderful story to unravel, right? Let's look at the melody and see if we've got any clues about the melody. Da 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 da. Let's see. Here's the da 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 da. So it's 3 2 2 1. So we desperado. So it floats and then finally lands on the one. So we have the 3 da 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 da. So it takes a long time to get to that 1 in the key of G. Da 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 da. It's da da, but we're hearing da da. So there's stress. Wonderful using notes that are not harmonic, right? The harmonic notes would be da 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 da. Those are the harmonic tones, right? So we're using those wonderful inharmonic tones, and quite a few of them. Da da da. 3 unharmonic to the harmonic, which is actually the tonic, which is the actual key that it's in, the G. Da 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 da. So there's a lot of tension in that melody right away, because you get the desperado. It's like yesterday. You know, that's the Beatles song. Also opening on that stress note. Da 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 da. You hear how that's stressing? And he does McCartney and Henley and Fry. You know, they finally resolve it, but opening with those inharmonic tones are quite brilliant. You know, so if you're writing a song, let's pick another key. I just want to come with a melody. So there's my down. I just changed the key to C, so I can go. What's an inharmonic tone? Da. Doesn't really fit there, does it? Da. So maybe if I go. Da 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 da. Hear the stress right at the opening. Right at the opening. Da 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 da. So I went da 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 da. Now I repeated that da da, and I played a chord where that note actually fits. Da 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 da. Notice, hear that inharmonic tone opening like on the downbeat. Da 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 da. Now you're expecting da, but what if I went da 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 da. Oh, see what I mean? It's not a harmonic tone. Da, da. So I'm creating a real tense melody here, right? And that's what Don Henley does, and Fry, Glenn, what they did in this song. So they immediately start right off with the tension. Da da da. Let's get the key again. Da 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 da. Yeah, nah. Okay. Da 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 da. What a beautiful movement! So much movement there. So we have a movement going down. Da 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 da. Inharmonic, inharmonic. Finally to the tonic, to the 1, which is very resolved. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's you notice that has a wave to it. Da da da. Da 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 da. What a gorgeous motive. Da 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 da. Will you repeat it? Da 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 da. Yes. Da 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 da. Does he go all the way up? Da 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 or da 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 da? Let's see. I think he just stays. Out riding fences. for so long now, so long now, for so long, for so long, so long now, so right. We used to so long now, so long now. Yes, that note fits both the minor 2 and the 5. Da 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 da. Yeah. There's the A minor has that note in it, and the D has it. So you get that split. Da da da. But you have that lovely chord movement. Da da da. That's sweet. So we split that, give him 2 chords instead of 1. He just could have gone da 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 da. But isn't that nice to get that da da da? And you get a minor in there too. Da da. A little tension there. Da da. That's so sweet. So long, you're a hard one. Remember the first one went desperado, went down. Now they're going up now. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. A lot of movement there. Da 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 down da down up down. Ba da 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 ba da. Notice the big jump. The intervals are far apart, right? Da ba da da. That's brilliant. Da 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 da. Those long intervals create incredible amounts of tension and interest, doesn't it? Instead of like da 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 da. No, not da da da. That's a stepwise melody. Bum bum bum. It's just going up the scale. Da 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 da. No, da da da. Back to the same note. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ooh, that's nice. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Now those are stepwise. Bum dum dum dum, and that is the dum. So it's going to end on the It's going to end on the 1. So brilliant, so brilliant. So we have all these massive intervals jumping around. Now, let's see what happens in the bridge chorus.
Oh, you're a hard one, but I know that you got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able.
Whoa! They save that high note. Draw the queen. And you know, showing off his singing ability a little bit too, because the average male, usually high E on the guitar, is pretty much where they land. But he's going da, which is G, and he saved that note. And notice once he hits that note, he does a descending. So still going down. So we're dropping down, right? So descending melodies have a tendency to be sad. See, like na 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 na, or na 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 na. So you can control your listener's emotions by how you choose your melody to move. So you na 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 na. Notice how it's staying sad because I keep descending those notes. Well, they're doing the same thing. So we have this long descending, which creates that real sadness, but with that starting with that real high note. Da, 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 da. Now we're going to go up a little bit to why? Contrast. Da 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 da. But right back down again. Bum da 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 da. The same now. Again, expectations are that we're going to repeat that, and they do. So we get that satisfaction, and we've got to keep in mind that this melody is really, really, really complex. So because it's so complex, they decided, we really don't have to change this up much. We could go ahead and, repeat it because it's just so beautiful. And it's so complex with that descending down and then swapping out and going up a little bit. So let's listen to the...
Seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get.
Oh, that's so brilliant. Notice on that last line, you always want the ones. That putting that high note on want and holding it really makes that, we really stress that, that you want something. You really want something. You only want the ones, space, that you can't get. And let's see, get, that's right on there. Get. And I believe there's a suspended one in there. Get. That suspended one pulls you back to this, I want to show you something. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of the next thing. So let's take it back just a little bit. Okay. Whoa. Get desperado. That is freaking crazy brilliant. That is just crazy brilliant, right? Because it's a rhyme, rhyming the last line, the last word of the bridge with the very first syllable of the verse. They call that cross rhyme, and that's really, really just wonderful. So let's finish up looking at the melody here, and then we'll go and look at the lyrics. Don't you draw the queen of diamond, boys, meet you if she's able. The queen of hearts is always your best bet. It seems to me, whoa, seems to me. That is like, wow, you really get that punch there. It seems, and then there's a double, like, wow, it really goes high on that one. Seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table. Notice that he goes up instead of laid upon your table. No, he wanted to do what? Contrast, a little variation. Da 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 da. Very nice. And it's also going up too, isn't it? Da da ba 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 ba. Right upon your table. And that's interesting. That the high note is on the word your, laid upon your table. So again, stressing a little bit. This is all about you, isn't it? You're pretty self-centered. Laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get. And of course the same melody, desperado. We've gone over that. So we have a repeat in that bridge of the melody, but with some nice added varieties. So we copy a little bit. The second part of it copies a little bit the first part, but it gives it some little alterations that just give it that little extra, you know. So when you're writing your chorus and you're coming up with a line, like your chorus might be, you know, let's do that again. See how I went up the second time? So we can use these tips. Everything I'm saying here is little tricks that you can apply to your songs when you're writing, right? So always keep that in mind. We're not just wasting our time here looking at this song. Everything I'm talking about can be used in your songwriting. These are like little tricks and techniques that you can use when you're writing your own original song. All right? Now let's look at the line rhythm. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. And there's that feminine ending again. Diamonds, boy. Now the boy, that little boy on the end there, gives a little sense of masculinity, a little sense of resolve. To go over it again, feminine endings where the stress is on the second to the last syllable has tension. Lines that end with a stress are masculine and they have resolve. So anytime you have a feminine ending on a line, like diamonds, diamonds. You hear how that goes? That's a feminine. And that feminine wants to resolve to a masculine. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. And that boy is kind of an extra little throw in there. She'll beat you if she can. You feel how that resolved? You went, man, that was nice. But no, beat you if she's able. He's keeping that tension up. You know, the Queen of Hearts is always your best bet. So finally, on the third line, we get resolve, right? So we have, let's look at the rhyme scheme. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. There's no rhyme there. You know the Queen of Hearts is always your best bet. No rhyme, right? That's very interesting. Now, but let me just tell you, we have set up, and when you do that kind of thing, da 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 way, da 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 oh, da 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 I'm setting you up to at least hear the I. I've set up a set of 3 lines. None of them rhymed, so we have this ability here. If we don't want to, because it's a set of 3, the ear will forgive all the way to the 3rd line. So I could go da 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 oh, da 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 way, da 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 I. I could go da 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 e da 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 ooh, da 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 ba 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 I. Right? So it would be, the rhyme scheme would look like XXA, XXA. Sets of 3. The first 2 don't rhyme, the last one rhymes. But let's see what he does. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. That's an asymmetrical couplet. And then what they do is they tag on a 3rd line to that asymmetrical couplet. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. So that 3rd line, a different rhyme, a different line rhythm than the first 2. So that signifies to your ear that's a set of 3, right? None of them rhymed. But I do want to hear bet, your best bet. And it's interesting that those 2 words rhymed, best and bet. Interesting. And we also heard beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always. There's a lot of inner rhyme there. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. Queen, she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. That's so sweet. Now it seems to me, now there's the E's again. Beat, she, queen. It seems to me some fine things. Do we hear any I's in there? Diamonds, fine things. That's interesting, isn't it? Don't draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. Queen of hearts is always your best bet. Seems to me some fine things. So diamonds, fine things. We do have a rhyme there. Although the last syllables don't rhyme, the stress syllables do. Diamonds, fine things. You do hear it. Yes, you do. But it's subtle. And it's got tension because it doesn't quite exactly rhyme. You want a diamonds, fine ones. Would have been a more direct rhyme. But no, fine things, right? Wonderful. Have been laid upon your table. Able, table. Wow. So now the rhyme scheme we have is, well, let's just see how it ends. But you only want the ones. Want the ones. Wah, wah. That's called an alliteration. We have assonance and alliterations. Assonance is when the vowel sounds are the same inside the line, right? Like seems to me some fine things. The seems to me, those don't exactly rhyme, but the E pops, doesn't it? Yes. She'll beat you if she's able. She'll beat you if she's. Notice the inside rhyme there too. That's assonance, right? And then alliteration is when you hear the same front letters, like where was it? Want the ones. Wah, wah. Notice that the spelling doesn't match up, but the sounds matches up. Wah, wah. So that's alliteration. So we have inner rhyme, which always gives the listener a sense of, wow, this person really knows what they're doing, right? So there's so much inner rhyme and outer rhyme. So what a beautiful rhyme scheme this is. The fine craftsmanship that they got, diamonds and fine things, and then have been laid upon your table, able. Now that's really good rhyme there. That's a hard rhyme. Well, it's a very good soft rhyme because it doesn't have it. Well, yeah, no, that's a real rhyme. That's a real hard rhyme. And then, but you only want the ones. There's that inner rhyme again that you can't get, which rhymes with bet, right? So now the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, A, B, C. Everything rhymed. Everything rhymed. Every line rhymed. Okay? So let's look. I mean, that's so nice. That's very hard to do when you're trying to tell this complicated story. They must have, well, they're geniuses, okay? But they must have had to work really, really hard to do this. Okay, so now let's look what they're saying. Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. Oh, that's so interesting. So we have a desperado riding fences. But now all of a sudden we're playing cards, which fits a desperado. So the lesson here is, if you have a story about a desperado, you don't have to stay fences and cattle and stuff. You can do, what else would a desperado do? Well, they would play cards, right? So now we're going to use the cards as a symbol for what might be your problem. So let's look. Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know, the Queen of Hearts is always your best bet. Well, now, wow, we can see on the first bridge / chorus that this is not about desperados at all, really. It's about love, isn't it? Don't you draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. So this is the first clue that we've had that this song really is now a love song. And we can go back the next time we listen to this song and put all this into a love perspective, right? So, desperado, why don't you come down from your senses? Once you come to your senses, you've been out riding fences. So now we realize, oh, that means in love. He's having trouble with love. So now our sense of the song is already shifted a little bit, which is a stroke of brilliance, really. So now we started with one idea, and it's morphing into another. So we have a headline, desperado, badass guy, needs to straighten his act, right? But when we hear the bridge, it's more than just that. It's not a generic, you need to straighten yourself out. It's about love, specifically love, right? So don't draw the Queen of Diamonds, boy. In other words, those hard women out there that are giving you a hard time, which is maybe the reason why you're so distant, because the women you pick, the cards, the women you pick might not be, terrific, women to fall in love with. But he says the Queen of Hearts is always your best bet. And that's so beautiful. Poetically, and now we have this, we're continuing this whole metaphorical, symbolical meaning of the song. Now let's see what else he's going to say about this guy. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table. So maybe he's overlooked the Queen of Hearts. Maybe he had a Queen of Hearts at one time, but he overlooked it. Oops. So you only want the ones that you can't get. So he just lays it out there. Boom. The Queen of Diamonds, she's poison, man. She is a femme fatale, and she's never going to settle down with you. John McDonald and the Mango Man. Yeah, I'm writing a reggae album with that guy. He's a wonderful, talented guy down in Florida. He's a Parrot Head band, and we're writing a reggae, Parrot Head, cool calypso album. check it out later. We're about halfway through with it. Anyway, I digress. So now we can see, whoa, what the heck? Let's take this thing further in. I don't have to play it anymore because we've gone over all this stuff. Desperado, you ain't getting any younger. Your pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. That's interesting. Desperado, you ain't getting no younger. Oh, here comes my sweetie. She's coming up the stairs. She's going past me. Okay, sometimes she comes in and gives me a cup of coffee. She doesn't realize I already got one. Speaking of which, I need to heat this puppy up. It's 2. I'm just going to go over here. Heat that up. So, you ain't getting any younger. Your pain and your hunger are driving you home. Well, that's interesting. Your pain and your hunger are driving you home. And freedom, oh, freedom. Well, that's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. I love that line. Your pain and your hunger are driving you home. That's so interesting. So he's going, you know, if I were writing this song, I don't know if I would have had that. I don't know if I would have said that, but that's a very deep thought. That the fact that he's you know, not doing well in love, the pain and the hunger is driving you home. What he might be saying is, listen, I mean, this is such a deep thought here. He's saying it's driving you to the place where you were born, the place where you were safe, and you were young and you were innocent. So this pain and the hunger could be a lesson. So if you pay attention to the lesson of this pain, you could actually wake up a better person, driving you home where you were young and innocent, right? And then he says, your freedom, hey, it's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. And again, how did they get all this stuff to rhyme and to get this wonderful message across? I mean, it's just so freaking brilliant. Now the second bridge, excuse me just 1 minute. I'm water loading here, so I need to take care of some business. I'll be right back. Don't go away. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you for your patience. I just want to take care of that. Water loading has its downside, but it's got a lot more upside, so I recommend drink a lot of water. So here we are at the second bridge, and lo and behold, it's completely different than the first, which is typical of a bridge, by the way. Choruses are often the same, right? Every chorus is exactly the same, although they don't have to be. They usually are. But this one's really, really different. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? Now, we've left the gambling completely gone. The gambling's gone. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. I love the sky won't snow. That is so wonderful. And notice S, sky won't snow. Alliteration in there. And you're just going, God, these guys are freaking brilliant. They just keep coming up with more little mini rhyme pops, even inside the line. You just get that little pop of rhyme there. So nice. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sky won't snow. Look at this. Feet get cold, sky won't snow. I mean, how? This could be the perfect song. And the sun won't shine. And notice that the first line and the second line end differently. Don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? Ba-da-da. The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. No, the sun won't shine. Different. Contrast. Got my attention, right? Let's see, is there any other thing? Wintertime. Okay. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. Now we have again night time, I, and we had time and shine already, and now the night time we get more A's from the day. So we know that the day is going to be another rhyme. So it's going to be, let's see what we did. Okay, so this is going to be, if anything, it's going to be different. It's going to be AAB. Let's see how he ends it. So you're losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Wow. That's so interesting, because the last line of the first bridge is really long, but you only want the ones that you can't get. Feeling goes, yes, away. Oh, that's so brilliant. I actually should have put away on the next line. And then away, that's it. That's all there is. So again, that heavy contrast is amazing. So that whole line is nothing but away, instead of away, you want the ones that you can't get. So they stretched that first bridge, got stretched out all the way, 4 stresses. You only want the ones you can't get. Oh, it's 5. And this one's away, boom, just 1 syllable. And then right back in to that last verse. So the thought behind that might have been, let's not stretch that second bridge. Let's not stretch it out. Let's just get back to the point. Let's get back to the desperado, right? So funny how the feeling goes. We got the highs and lows. So we got AAB, AA, and then that one word which makes the B, that away. And then desperado. Why don't you come to your senses? You come down from your fences. That's wonderful. So we have the repeating, recirculating, going back to the first verse, repeating some of that first verse. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences and open the gate. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. Raining and rainbow above you. That's so sweet. There's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late. Wow. So what happens here? They use the metaphor, the desperado thing, and open the gate. Come down from your fences. Open the gate, meaning open your heart. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. So there's hope for you, because this pain and hunger is taking you home, is driving you home, right? There's a rainbow above you, there's hope. And then they're just going to tell the audience exactly what they've been saying all this time. You better let somebody love you. I mean, just straight out, flat out. So if you ever had any doubts about it, boom. In other words, all this whole thing was simply a metaphor for a guy that's finding it very difficult to love somebody, because he always picks the ones that he can't get. And so, you know, he may have had trouble in his childhood, who knows, but he picks those people that he can't get because he's afraid to make a commitment, right? But hey, this pain and hunger is driving you home, right? And freedom is just a bunch of bull, right? So they're telling you all these wonderful things, all in this symbolic language. But then at the end, you better let somebody love you before it's too late, because hey, you're not getting any younger, right? Absolutely freaking crazy brilliant, right? Absolutely crazy brilliant. The melody, the rhyme scheme, the chords, everything about this song combined creates just a massive hit, a massive hit. So we've done a good job reconstructing this song, and hopefully what's happened in this hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to sign off for now, because I think, I just feel like this whole lesson needs to be just on this one song, and the power that it can be, right? I don't feel into going into another song, frankly. So I'm going to leave you for today, but just think about all the tricks that have been done in this song. We can pick an emotion that you might be having in your life. Any emotion, let's say something where you're having a hard time. You're having a hard time, with the isolation from the COVID-19. So you're having a hard time with this isolation. So you could use, what is isolated? What's something isolated? You can pick a metaphor. Another, rather than desperado, you could pick someone else that's, often like a sailor is out to sea, right? Somebody out to sea. That would be a lonely place to be. Sometimes lonesome and lonely, they're different things. I know people that sail around the world all their lives. That's all they do. This one person I know, he's a Frenchman, speaks fluent English, of course, but he lives in Australia, but he literally spends his entire life sailing single-handedly in a 32-foot sloop. He sails around the world. That's all he does. Occasionally he lands, picks up a little job, but then he goes back out and sails again. And he just keeps moving and moving and moving, So the sailor would be a good one, right? A hunter, like when you're out hunting, you could be a hunter. There's just a million things you could be. You could be a hobo. Anyway, you get my drift. You can pick something that's lonely and desolate and talk about not just one thing, but the many things that it might do. Like a sailor out to sea by themselves. Well, they obviously have to watch the weather. They have to cook food. They have to eat. They have to sleep. They have to find direction, always getting their compass together and finding out where they are on the map. They need to watch out for bad weather. So all these things, they could be thinking of home, what they're thinking. They could be playing solitaire at night. So all these things, so you're looking for the many things that this lonely sailor would do, right, in isolation, hoping that he doesn't get lost and that the next port will come, And it could be maybe that he actually did get lost at sea. If you're thinking, gee, I don't know if this COVID-19 will ever end, well, you could say, hey, sailor, you've lost your direction. You don't know where your compass and your Saxton, direction, Saxton. Hey, maybe I'm onto something here. You see what I'm saying? You can use all these every time we deconstruct these songs. You can take these lessons and apply them to your own life. Because I always say, keep it real. Write stuff that you know. You'll never go wrong if you write from the heart. If you write something that you feel real, something that's really happened to you, the listeners have antennas. They can sense when you're just making stuff up. And they're not as interested. But when they hear somebody really singing from the heart, they can tell. They can tell right away. It's not that difficult to tell a fake lyric from a real lyric, something that somebody's really felt. All right? So take these lessons, apply it to your own reality, and have fun and enjoy. I will see you on Friday. We might have a new theme on Friday. I'm thinking about maybe talking about, because this is a vet thing, we might want to, CreatiVets, please give money, all you can, to the CreatiVets programs. They can always use the money, the infusion of funds to keep everything going, to keep the programs going. So I will see you Friday, and maybe our theme just might be different ways to talk about war and soldiers. So we'll look at some big hit songs that have dealt with soldiers in war. That might be something to do, all right? So keep it on the double nickel. See you on the flip-flop. Stay safe. Adios, amigos.